All right, so yeah, let's actually start seated, or if you guys want to start on your backs, you can start on your backs too. And we're just going to be kind of low to the ground tonight. So find a space in your back, or if you want to start seated, you can. We're going to connect with that breath. Whatever way that makes sense for you. If you're on your back, maybe feel the back pressing into the floor. Notice the chest rise, maybe the stomach rises too. Visualize some breath going behind the heart. As you lie here, maybe your feet are on the ground, or maybe your legs are straight out. Whatever makes sense for you, but connect with that breath. Soften the gaze so the eyelids are softly closed and the eyes can kind of sink back into the head. We're just going to keep our breath flowing naturally. Just in and out of the body. Breathe in. Breathe out. And now let's hug our knees into our chest. You can rock side to side if you want. Maybe you have only one leg in. Maybe you want to keep the other leg long. So you can do that too. Now if you have only one knee in, bring the other knee in and send that leg long. If you have both knees in, just keep moving side to side, or maybe back and forth. Now let's bring both knees into the chest if they weren't there already, and we send our legs long. And with both feet facing the sky, let's just bring the right leg down, maybe about halfway, just engage that core. So feel the top, like the outer hip, or the front of the leg stretch, those hip flexors and the psoas, and then bring it back up. And then exhale, lower the left foot down just a little bit, like halfway. Yeah. Engage the core, maybe the hip flexor is engaged. Maybe let it stretch, maybe point the foot. And now let's bring that foot back to meet the long leg, but do it with control. Feel the activation of the core. Okay, yeah. And now let's bend the knees so the feet come to the floor. Then we're going to set up for our bridge pose. So we're going to push the hips up, really press through the hips so we can lengthen the hip flexors again. So we can inhale to lift, push the hips, maybe wiggle the shoulder blades underneath the heart. Rise with the hips, maybe engage the glutes. Let's exhale, lower down the hips. Let the low back come to the floor. And then drive up with the hips. Inhale, wiggle the shoulders. Maybe interlace the hands underneath on the floor. You can even bring the arms to lift the hips high on the sacrum. Breathe into the chest, breathe into the stomach. Feel the heart lifting above this head. And we'll exhale, lower down each little vertebrae one by one. When we get to the bottom, we can wiggle the shoulder blades free. Maybe finding length in the spine along the floor. Let's send the right leg long and that left foot Comes into a reclined tree. So the left knee bends out. Reach that right foot towards the opposite wall. And now inhale and lift the arms to be floating across the sky. So it's like you're reaching with the hands, the fingertips, and reach with the heel. And then we'll exhale to relax into this extended tree. And then let every muscle release and just stay here with the arms reaching one way, the feet, or the foot reaching the other. Exhale, breathe into the hips, into the space between the hips. And let yourself be. We'll exhale, let's bring that left knee towards the sky, left foot on the ground. You bring the hands maybe to the heart or the hips. Bring the right foot in, and then send the left foot long, so that right foot's on the floor, left foot's long. Reach with the left foot, stretch that leg out long. Let the right leg fall open. And then when you're ready, you can float those arms up across the sky. If that's not accessible for your shoulders, let the arms come out to the side like a T. If you can, reach the arms up into the sky or to the wall, I guess. And let them come overhead, the biceps spreading the ears. And then stretch and reach. Stretch with that left leg. Stretch with the hands. And then let go of all effort and rest in this kind of stretched out reclined tree. Soften the elbows. Soften the inside of the mouth and the back of the throat. And we'll exhale to bring that right foot to the floor, right knee facing the sky. You can bring the arms down, maybe the hands to the heart, maybe one to the stomach. And now you can send the right leg out long so we can rest in Shavasana for just a few moments. You can roll to one side and come to a seat. We're going to tune into that mantra that we were talking about before class. I'm going to move, as you find your seat, I'm going to move this computer closer. Find your comfortable seat, maybe one that feels good for meditation. Find that familiar seat. Connect the sits bones to the earth. And just imagine the heart beaming forward and the heart beaming back. Palms can be flipped up or down. And our mantra for this evening is Om Pushne Namaha. I'll say it again. Om Pushne Namaha. Om Pushne Namaha. Yeah. And that means salutation to the giver of strength and nourishment. So we're going to invite that nourishment and that strength into our space with the beautiful vibration of mantra. So we'll start, deep breath in, and then Om Pushne Namaha. 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 2 more times. Om Pushne Namaha. Om Pushne Namaha. And just sit in the energy of the mantra. Inviting it into the front of the heart, the back of the heart, the sides of the heart, the entire physical body. And exhale, sigh. We can gently open our eyes. And with that mantra, just vibrating through our body, we'll make our way into our first restorative posture. So it's a reverse shavasana. So we're going to come onto our stomachs. I'm going to show you a couple things that we can do with our blankets. I usually cover my mat with one blanket that's folded in half, just to have some extra softness because this floor is hard. But if you have a towel or if you have a blanket, I'd like you to make a roll. So maybe it looks like that, because we're going to put this like on this side of our foot, because we're going to be on our stomachs, but we're going to rest our feet on this. So if you can make a little rolled blanket about that big and place it at one end of your mat. And we're going to use this again in our practice. So once you get it rolled, kind of keep it rolled. And then if you have one more blanket, and we'll use a second blanket again, maybe just fold it. We're going to put this on our pelvis. So when we're lying down, we have a little cushion for the pelvis. So it's going to look like this. And if you have, if it's difficult to come onto your stomach, then maybe bring some bolsters just under your chest. Sometimes that's really nice too. So if you aren't able, or if it's not comfortable to lie like this, with the hands as a pillow for the head, if this is uncomfortable, then the other option that might be more accessible to some people is to just lie on a bolster on the stomach. Maybe the hips come down, maybe a little block for the head. And you can lie like this with the blanket kind of underneath that foot part. So find what feels really nourishing and strength-giving to you. Create that shape with your body, knowing that it might be different than mine and different than the person on the video next to you. We're going to just nourish by rooting down through the front of our body into the earth. And if that feels funny to have your face down, just turn up at the side of the cheek. And then rest right here. Feel the front of the heart rooting down. The back of the heart ascending towards the heavens. And the sides of the heart radiating with love. make any adjustments that might feel good for the hips or for the feet. And then maybe bringing that mantra into your space. Om Pushne Namaha. Om Pushne Namaha. Om Pushne Namaha. Maybe you find that you say it out loud in maybe a normal tone, and then eventually it becomes softer, and then eventually it fades away as it becomes more internalized. And maybe you just internalize it the entire time. There's no right or wrong. But just invite that mantra and the energy behind it, that Shakti, invite that into your space. So it's salutations to the giver of strength and nourishment. Om Pushne Namaha. And soften the eyes, the backs of the eyes, and the throat. Maybe swallow and then exhale, sigh. Then let the body unravel and let the soul surface and be nourished with strength and nourishment. Maybe moving the head to the other side if that feels okay on the mat. Maybe having to shift and move a little bit as the body relaxes. Noticing you maybe need to move the shoulders as you create space in the chest. Move the feet as you create space in the backs of the legs. And exhale.
Giving yourself permission to be here and to stay here. You've already brought yourself onto your mat, carved out the time. Now just allow yourself to enjoy it. Sometimes I'll catch myself when I'm practicing restorative. I'm thinking about this or thinking about that, and I justify it by saying, oh, I'm just getting clarity. Now I'm thinking, and I am going through my to-do list. And I just say, oh, okay, it's all right. It's natural. And then I just come back to the moment, knowing that clarity comes through stillness. And so we just redirect our awareness, maybe to the beating of the heart into the floor. We redirect our awareness with gentleness and love back to the mantra. Back to the sensation of our palms on the floor, our backs of our hands on the floor, bringing our awareness, redirecting it to the present moment. And then let that stillness and silence just speak for itself. I'm going to chant our mantra 3 times to close this posture. You're welcome to join. Let's inhale. Om Pushne Namaha. Om Pushne Namaha. Om Pushne Namaha. Now exhale, slowly press our way up. There's no rush. If you want to stay here longer, you can. Maybe you really want to just roll onto your back and rest in Shavasana the rest of the time, and that's okay too. It's your time. Move the neck. Maybe you want to bring the heels or the feet towards the side, rock the feet side to side before you make your way up. Rise up. Maybe you reach the hands forward, bring the seat back towards the heels, kind of moving through child's pose. Move the neck. And then we have options for our next supportive shape too. I'm going to come into reclined butterfly. So if you want to build a little recliner with a bolster, you can prop the bolster up and you can rest on the bolster. So there's that option with feet together, knees to the side. So you can rest and recline back just like this. Maybe you want to come all the way to the floor. And that blanket roll that we just used for our feet, we can bring our neck to that. We don't have to do it all at once. We can make our way to the ground, find the support for the neck, and then bring the knees up, the feet down, and allow those feet to meet, and the knees come out to the side. If we want to stack pillows or blocks underneath the knees, we can. Sometimes I like to just place my fist kind of underneath my leg. I don't know, sometimes it just feels like a little support and keeps my hands warm. Maybe move ponytails if you need to move ponytails. And feel the back of the heart root down into the earth, the front of the heart ascending into the Akash, the sides of the heart expanding, and landing in this shape. Om Pushne Namaha. Om Pushne Namaha. Om Pushne Namaha. Just follow that mantra, reciting it if you'd like, out loud or in your own heart. If your mind starts to wander, you can just bring it back to the mantra. Maybe try to justify it that, oh, I'm getting clarity. And sometimes things do come to us, and that's totally fine. If you find yourself reviewing your day or going through your to-do list, just invite those thoughts to wait for you after class. And exhale, be here, right where you are, with your mantra, with your space. There was a man who studied the teachings of Buddha, and he gave us 5 mundane ways to practice meditation. And tonight, practicing meditation in restorative. The first one is, when possible, do just one thing at a time. 2, pay full attention to what you are doing. This is what we've been talking about tonight. Number 3, when the mind wanders from what you are doing, bring it back. 4, repeat step number 3 several billion times. 5, investigate your distraction. So tonight, bringing our mind, redirecting it back to the present moment. We can investigate our distractions later. We're just going to be. Allowing this time to be an offering to yourself. This offering to be amongst this beautiful community that we've created.
Pushne Namaha. Pushne. Settle deeper and deeper into yourself, into this moment. Bringing your awareness from your feet to the head, just savoring this posture, this shape for a few more breaths. Scanning the body, relaxing it with awareness. And there are 3 rounds of our mantra, our sacred mantra to close this shape. Om Pushne Namaha. Om Pushne Namaha. Om Pushne Namaha. Exhale, sigh. When you're ready, you can bring both feet to the earth. There's no rush. Maybe the feet come wide. You lift the back, find the back flat, the knees come together. Maybe rub the forehead just gently with fingertips. Massage the temples, the cheeks, those jaw joints, and down the side, just tracing along the jaw. Maybe the nose, around the eyes, or back up to the forehead. Maybe massaging the scalp, the fingers. Exhale, release the hands if you'd like, or you can keep a gentle massage on the face. We'll just bring our knees out to one side, like windshield wipers. And then exhale, sigh the knees over to the other side. You can go quick if it's a downpour. You can go slow if it's just a drizzle. Swing side to side. And now gently rolling onto our stomachs again. Maybe find a bolster or a blanket that you've been using. Bring it in close. We're going to make our way into our half frog. So maybe you could call that a tadpole. Some people call it tadpole. So we're going to be on our stomachs. We're going to have our hips down. So if you want to bring the blanket under the hips again, you can. But we're going to have one leg long, and then one knee is going to come up
and onto the blanket. So it's kind of knee in line with the hip maybe, if that feels good. And then just, or if you have a bolster, you can bring it on a bolster. Then we'll just relax onto a blanket for the head or a pillow. The arms can be at the side or under the chest. So if we do this sometimes, if we cross the legs over the body, we're on our back. So we actually kind of don't do anything like this. But we've got one knee out to the side, one leg long on the side, maybe a pillow or a blanket underneath the cheekbone, the head. Opening up this hip, just one little hip at a time. And if that doesn't feel comfortable, sometimes it's nice to lay on some pillows or that bolster and have another bolster or pillows for the leg. Allow yourself to rest. And now we're just feeling that heart root down into the earth, connecting us with Mother Earth. Maybe we'll scan the body from foot to head. And with our breath, create some expansion in any areas of tension. And then let it go. Offer that to yourself as many times as you'd like. Be settling into our mantra. Maybe feeling relaxed for sleep. Om Pushne Namaha. Om Pushne Namaha. If thoughts come in, you can just offer them some words that we'll come back to them later and we'll investigate them later. Right now, we're just redirecting our awareness maybe to the heartbeat, to the mantra, to the breath. Giving yourself permission to just let go. You're right where you're supposed to be. Sometimes I like to bring my thumb to that third eye space, that space between the eyebrows, and just up a little bit. Provide some activation to that pineal gland, which supports us in the sleep hormone. So maybe we just begin to lightly press that, preparing for sleep as we wind down. Exhale, sigh. And now at your own pace, and to transition however you would like, maybe with the mantra, to wind down from this side, or just transition to the other side. So however you want to make your transition, and whenever you do, as if moving through a dream, just make your way to the other side. Just settling deeper and deeper into relaxation. Deeper into awareness. Deeper into the surrender of letting go. Feel the hips or the hips sink into the earth, grounding that vata dosha. Feel the body sinking into the earth. Feel the eyelids become heavier. The mouth softens. Exhale. Savoring some final breaths on this side, your half frog. Scan from the feet to the head. Letting the breath create some expansion where there might be tension. Allow that low back to just decompress. Give it permission to release. Let the heart rest. And then when you're ready, you can bring that leg that's on the bolster. We bring it long, stretch it out. We move the hips kind of side to side, rolling on your stomach, on your hips. And then when you're ready, roll over into Shavasana, offering any movements that might feel just really good along the way. Maybe you don't make it to Shavasana for a few minutes because you want to do something else before you get there. Whenever you find your version of Shavasana, just melt into that Shavasana. Returning back down to the earth where we started, with the back of the heart roots down. The heart to the front, side of the heart ascending. Just finding some extended peace and bliss. Relax the eyes, the backs of the eyes. Maybe you're heavy. And release any effort in the eyes. The cheekbones soften. And that softness just melts down to the jaw joint towards those ears. The ears rest. And the jaw rests. The throat is at ease. And the lungs massage the heart with every breath. The stomach and torso relaxes, the hips ground into the earth, settling the nervous system, releasing fear, worry, anxiety, the racing thoughts,
go to the waist side. The tops of the legs melt into the backs of the legs, and the legs rest into the earth, the feet relax. The armpits are softened, the elbow creases are soft, and the palms relax. And your body is filled with the mantra of salutations to the giver of strength and nourishment. Om Pushne Namaha. Om Pushne. If you find yourself distracted, just tell those distractions, you'll investigate them later. And just redirect that awareness to the present moment, to a point of contact with the earth, or to the beating of the heart or the breath filling the lungs.
And now the last minutes of our practice together. You can spend either, you can remain in Shavasana, or whenever you're ready, whenever you'd like, come find your way to that seat. We'll close with our mantra, and then a little bit of pranayama, and then we'll sit in silence. So remain in Shavasana and just join kind of a la carte at the end whenever you'd like. There's no rush to come to a seat. Don't even have to. Just some options. And you can chant, or if you'd like to just listen, you can listen. Opening the awareness of every cell in our body to the Shakti, to the vibration of our mantra. Inviting our heart to open to the energy of the mantra. Inhale. And Om Pushne Namaha. 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 Two more. Om Pushne Namaha. Om Pushne Namaha. Notice the energy in your body. And then with your left hand and chin mudra, your thumb and index finger together, and then our right hand will come into our Vishnu mudra, so our Nadi Shodhana pranayama. Or you can bring the index and the middle finger to that third eye, and the thumb and the ring finger and the pinky are on the nose. So maybe it's like this, like that, or maybe it's like this. Okay, so that's our options. Or you can just rest and breathe. So left hand like this in the lap, right hand like this and on the nose. We'll inhale, exhale. Now close the left nostril, inhale the right for Om Pushne Namaha. Close the right, exhale left, Om Pushne Namaha. Inhale left, Om Pushne Namaha. Close left, exhale right, Om Pushne Namaha. Inhale right, Om Pushne Namaha. Close right, exhale left. Om Pushne Namaha. Inhale left. Om Pushne Namaha. Close left, exhale right. Om Pushne Namaha. Last time, inhale right. Om Pushne Namaha. Close right, exhale left. Om Pushne Namaha. Inhale left. Om Pushne Namaha. Now close left, exhale right. Om Pushne Namaha. Now relax the hand into the lap. And we'll sit maybe 30 seconds, maybe 45 to a minute. Just breathe. Om Shanti. 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 Om peace. Pushne Namaha. Namaste.